Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Juliana Arbeláez. I'm a business development executive for the Americas at Dimo Maint. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you find this webinar very useful. This is our agenda for today. I'm going to give a little bit of a company overview to tell you about Dimo. I will talk about our CMMS, and I will show you our on-cloud solution. And I will do a solution demonstration on the actual system. I will show you a new module that we have, analytics, and we'll have a little session of Q&A. So let's just get started. Our company overview. So this is a little bit of information about our company, Dimo. Dimo Software is located in France. These are some key figures about Dimo. So revenue of $65 million in 2019, a growth of 8%, 2018, 2 million cloud users, 410 people in our staff, and 6,000 clients in 100 countries. What we do. So this is Dimo software and all its divisions. As you can see, we have different types of software, like travel and professional expenses, financial processes, CRM, fiscal management, human resources. I want to show you all the items that are in red are our own in-house software, and the ones in gray are third parties. And the one I want to talk about today is our maintenance division. It's called Dimo Maint. We are a division of Dimo Software, and Dimo Maint is the company that has all the CMMS that I will show you. So these are key figures about Dimo Maint, so just the maintenance division. We have 4,000 customers in 100 countries. We have 1,500 international projects. We are available in 17 languages. We have 150 distribution partners, and we have 25 years of experience. Our solution is perfect for a small company, family company, a medium company, or a large group. We do have clients that, for example, are European and have different branches around the world, like in South America or North America, and they are able to have their CMMS in all of their branches connected to the same database. So no matter the size of your business, this is going to be for you. Also, you may think that a CMMS is only for manufacturing industry, but it isn't. We actually do have a lot of clients in all the different industries, such as healthcare, transportation, services, environment. We have hospitals, we have hotels, companies that do transportation, all types of businesses, all types of industries. You will see it's very easy. This is a system that will adapt to your business, not your business won't have to adapt to our solution. And this is something that's pretty great about our solution. As some of you may know, Sage is one of the most important ERPs out there. So if you do use your ERP, Sage, these are our clients in North America that are connected to our ERP, Sage. You may recognize some of these. You'll see which ones are from Canada, and the other ones are in the US. And these are our other key clients, so you don't have to be connected to your ERP or to Sage. You can also use it as a standalone, which is great because it will work perfectly as well. And these are our clients that are connected to, not connected to the ERP. So using it as a standalone. So you can choose if you want to connect to your ERP or if you want to use it as a standalone. So why should you be thinking about a CMMS? So what you expect is to have effective communication with requesters, technicians, supervisors. You want to have quality on repairs. You want to have intervention at the right time. You want to anticipate problems. You don't want to just do corrective maintenance. You also want to do preventive maintenance so that you don't lose a lot of money in corrective maintenance afterwards. You want security, traceability, and regulation. You want your problems to be solved ASAP. You want to control your expenses and your costs. And you want something that is professional and organized. And this is something that we offer to you. You will see that it is much more than just managing your maintenance. You're going to get so much more from it. So some of the results that you can obtain with the CMMS is that you can improve cost control, you improve actual maintenance times, you improve maintenance planning, you improve experience feedback, you will have reduction in equipment costs, improve spare parts management, increased reliability, and increased availability. So this is a great solution to organize not only your assets, your maintenance, but just to have in your company. So like I said, it doesn't have to be a manufacturing company. You don't have to have plants or different types of machinery to use the CMMS. As long as you want to organize everything and have a system that makes everything easier for you, this is something, and you will see when I do the demonstration how easy it is to use. So how does it work? I am going to show you the scope of our system. You're going to have all your assets in a tree structure. You're going to find your engineers or technicians, your parts, and your suppliers. So some of these suppliers are not in-house, they're subcontractors, and you will be able to manage them in Dimo as well. So when you create a work order, you can do so either from a work request or you can schedule a preventive maintenance, and this will automatically create work orders. So for that, you need a schedule, and you will see on our system how you can use the schedule, and the work orders will be created automatically. You will create restocking alerts from your inventories, and you will create purchase orders. These will impact your budgets, and you'll have analysis and dashboards. When you do have Sage, the ERP, you will manage your inventories and your restocking alerts and your parts and suppliers with Sage. So how does it really work to have Dimo and have your ERP at the same time? So this is the way they will communicate. You will create a purchase request on Dimo, and this will be created as a purchase request on Sage, and someone will have to create the purchase order on Sage. Once you get your receipt, you'll update your Sage, and this will be updated on Dimo. And then when you update your stock, you will also update automatically Dimo. Whenever you create a work order and you make a part movement, this will communicate with Sage and will automatically update it. So they will always be communicating with each other. There will be periodic updates. So whenever you update something like suppliers, items, locations, or dimensions on Sage, you will see them in Dimo as suppliers, spare parts, warehouses, or cost centers. So this is just really a simplistic way to see it, how they will communicate with each other. We also offer a mobile solution. I will also do this on my demonstration. I will show you how our app works, and you will see how easy it is. It works for both Android or iOS. And this is great for technicians because sometimes we don't want our technicians to be on the computer, or they don't really even have a computer to work on. So they can just have a tablet or a phone, and they can do their work through our app. You will see when I show you. So what is the best solution to manage your maintenance? I'm going to be showing you our MX solution. It's called Dimo Maint MX. It's our on-cloud solution. It's a new generation solution, and we already have over 300 customers. So why should you switch to the cloud? So once you switch to the cloud, there will be no hardware or software investment, no installation on anyone's computer. You can just access it when you go on the internet. That's it. It will be always available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It doesn't matter where you are, you'll have it. You don't have to have your computer with your system installed there. You can just access it through the internet. You'll have automatic updates, the latest version, and there is no risk of data loss. And the implementation is super fast. This is our solution. I will show it to you, but it's very user-friendly. It's multi-browser, multi-location, multi-language, multi-currency, multi-time zone. So for example, if your business has an office in BC and another office in Quebec and another office in New York, you'll be able to support all the different time zones, the different currencies, and the different languages if you need, for example, French for Quebec. So there you go. That was my small company presentation. I want to go ahead and present to you our on-cloud solution. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my Google Chrome. You can use Firefox if you want, or Microsoft Edge. It's gonna work on all the browsers. And what I want to show you right here is this document. We're gonna be seeing a company that has multiple entities, which are different cities. So this company has branches in all of these cities, has all these languages and all of these currencies. So what I want to do is I want to show you the different types of profiles that we can have on the system. So for example, I am going to log in to one of the supervisors, sorry. These are my supervisors. So I'm going to go ahead and log in as a supervisor. So as you can see, all of the different types of users will be able to log in on the same link. So I'm going to go ahead. And there you go. This is our solution. This is Dimo Maint MX. As you can see up here, we have Scott Daniels. He's our supervisor of the New York office. He has here some alerts that you can choose to have or not to have, or you can have more or different ones if you want. This is all customizable. And as you can see here on our home screen, we have different types of widgets. For example, we have my favorite menus. This is something that it's customizable 100%. And you can see different colors that are assigned for every single thing. So you will be able to customize that as well. For our work orders, we have kind of a traffic light color. We have red for to do, yellow for in progress, green for closed, and then you can add as many statuses as you want. So for example, here we added completed or canceled, and we added different colors to them. You will have a panel of menus here on the left-hand side where you can find everything. You have your assets, work, schedule, stock and purchasing, resources, settings, and analysis. So I am going to show you first our tree. This is the first thing that I told you, how we had all of our assets organized in a tree. They're going to be here, or if you prefer, you can click here and go to your asset tree as well. I'll show you. You can access it from here, but I have it here on my home screen. So I am the supervisor of the New York office, so I can only see the New York office. So even though we have different types of entities on our company, because I am the supervisor of New York, I can only see the New York office. So this is obviously something that is also customizable. You could choose whatever your supervisor can see. So this is my asset tree. I can keep going and opening, and then I'll find all of my assets. I also can right click on an asset, and I'll have a different set of menus, or I have them also up here or down here. So what I want to do is I want to open this asset. It's a cutting machine, but it can be anything. Also, if you don't have different types of cities or offices or plants, your entities can be anything. It could be a logical structure, it can be a location structure, it doesn't have to be location. For example, one of our clients in Europe has supermarkets and has a residential building. So their different entities are the supermarkets and their residential buildings, and no one from one of the entities can see the other one. So it could be logical, it could be whatever you need, is customizable. So I opened here my asset, and as you can see, it opened a new tab. This means that you will always open new tabs. You don't have to close anything. It'll keep opening new tabs. So I'm here on my asset, and this is all the information that I have about my asset. So if I go on header, I'll see the code, the description, pretty basic. I have the asset status, the family, the criticality, pretty much all the information that I need. I have all of these statuses, and all of the drop-down menus or all of the information that you can see here is completely customizable. So if you want your active statuses to be complete different words, it's up to you. It's whatever your business is used to. Same with the criticality, for example. Here we have necessary or can work around, but you can have it very critical, not very critical, or anything you want. You can add comments to your asset, anything you want. You can add pictures. You can add technical information, general information. So here we have brand, model, serial number, anything that you want. You can have associated files, for example, manuals or safety instructions, anything like that. And you're going to have all of the information of the work orders that you created on that particular asset. Same with the work request, the preventive work, and pretty much all the information that you need to add on your asset, you will find it here. If there is something that you don't find here, you can add it as an additional field. We don't have anything here, but for example, one of our clients really wanted to add the license plate information of their vehicles. And there was no field for it, so we added on additional fields, and now they have all the information that they need. So I want to show you here on your parts list. This is the build of your asset. So these are the parts that you need for this particular asset. So this is the quantity that you need for this particular asset. But if you go ahead and you do open the asset, it's going to open a new tab up here, as you can see. And you will have also all the information that you need on the part, and you will also have the quantity. So it's not the quantity that we saw before. That was the quantity for only that asset. This is the quantity that we actually have on stock. And you will also be able to have an available quantity if you want someone to reserve a part. So for example, if I am Scott Daniels, the supervisor of the New York office, and I want to reserve one part of this particular part, I can reserve them, and then someone else will log in and see that the available quantity is 107. So this is great for companies that use different types of offices, use just one stock room, so they can see that there are parts reserved. I'm going to go back to my asset. I want to show you again where we found the parts list and when we found that part. So the quantity is different because this is just for this asset. I can also, for example, if I go here on my left panel and I open all of my parts, I will have all of my parts here. I can definitely add any filter that I want. I can filter it by description, supplier, part family, location, asset, anything. And what I want to show you is that I can select as many parts as I want, and I can print QR codes. And I can have QR codes for all of my parts. This will also work perfectly for your assets. So if someone wants to do a work request on an asset, or if someone wants to work with a part, they can just scan the QR code. I will show you our mobile app solution. And they don't have to, type all of this information or know the exact name or code or anything. They can just scan it and they can go ahead and you'll see how easy it is. So it works the same for assets. Great. Something else that I want to show you is the schedule, because the whole purpose of this is that you not only do your corrective work, but that you prevent it. So you want to schedule things ahead of time so that you don't have to have downtime on your machines, on your parts, or anything. So this is our schedule. You can filter it if you want. I have opened here my technician schedule, and then I can see here that I have something scheduled for this week for a plumber. So what I can do is I can just drag and drop. And then did you see how it changed color? That means that I assigned purple for non-assigned work, but once I drop it on someone, it changes color. I can also open my asset schedule. So what I can see here is I can see my assets and I can see the work that is scheduled for my assets. And I can also have this work and drag it. And you know what? I want it to be done on the 22nd and not the 21st. So I can definitely drag and drop. The start date, yeah, the start date is inconsistent with the dates of resource lines. So this is the system telling me that I already planned something. And this is why this is so useful, because you will see that when you schedule something and you will have all the resources assigned to it, the system will tell you that when something is wrong. So it won't let you just do anything. Just wanted to show you the drag and drop. And as well, you can filter anything that you want. And you can add as many statuses as you want. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and close this. So as you can see, the system won't let me do anything. It asks me before I close anything if I want to save. It's very user-friendly, very intuitive. So what I want to do right now is I want to show you how is it a typical scenario of creating a work order. So I'm going to be working with 3 different profiles. I'm going to be working with a requester, a supervisor that we already saw, and a technician. So our requester is going to request the work on a specific asset, our supervisor is going to receive that work request and assign it to a technician, and the technician will complete the work, and the supervisor will receive that completed work and will close the work order. So I'm going to go ahead and open my solution. I'm going to log out. So when you see that, is the system is loading all the new information that you have added, so that when we go on a different profile, we'll have all the information already. So this is Robert's profile. Robert only has a requester license, which means he can't see all the things that our supervisor was able to see. He can only see the work request field and the work requests that he's done in the past. So these are the work requests that he has made in the past, and that's it. He can't see the scheduled work or the work orders or anything like that. So I'm gonna add a title. So he's gonna say the cutting machine is too slow. And the entity is already set for New York because that's the entity he is assigned to. But you can definitely change this if you want your technician, your requesters to make requests on anything or any entity. And here, if I go on my asset box, I can see my tree, and I can actually type, or I can open the tree and find the assets and find the ones that I want to do my request for. I can also add a work type. So this is very important for where you do your reports, because you can see your reports by the work type request. So you can see if you want, for example, I want to see only my corrective maintenance, or I want to see only my preventive maintenance, you will be able to. So this is highly recommended. So here for comments, I can type what I want. I can add a link. I can insert a picture. So I can take a video and attach the link, and they will see my video. I can change the font. I can change the color. So you have many options here for your request, and I am going to save. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a cutting machine or a plant. It can be your AC on the office. It can be your chair, or it can be a door. It can be anything. I am going to log out because we are done with Robert Codes. We don't need anything else. And I'm going to go back to my supervisor profile. Perfect. So this is, again, Scott Daniels, my supervisor. I do have a direct access to the work order, to the work requests. So this is why the widgets are so important, because you can have access to them very quickly without going to the left-hand side panels. And I can see here that there is a red one. New York cutting machine is too slow, from Robert Code. So I am going to open it. So as a supervisor, I can definitely change the priority if I want to. I can see all the statuses and everything that I want to see here. I can see the comments that the requester made. I can see all the information. So if he had added a picture or a file or anything, I would be able to see it here. And as a supervisor, I can decide, well, you know what? This is true. I can see all of his comments are telling me that the machine isn't working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this to a work order because I need someone to work on this. So once I convert it to a work order, I will have all the same information. So I can change the priority if I want to. I can set a deadline. I can change statuses, all the same information. I can also see, for example, oh, here, this is the comment that Robert created, and I can also create one so that he knows that this is being taken care of. And what I want to show you is that I can add resources. So I can add any type of resource that I want. Here we have labor, downtime, part or subcontractor. And the good thing about this is that you can associate costs to these resources. So for example, I'm going to say I need a service technician. I already know who I want to work on this, so I'm going to assign it to this person. And because I already have on my system what is the cost of 1 hour of his work, so $28, I already know how much this work is going to cost me. So I can plan for him to work 3 hours on this work order, and I can add him. I can also add something that we call task lists. So task lists are lists of work that you preset ahead of time so that you don't have to go through the whole thing of adding new resources and parts and everything like that. So I am going to add this task list. I'm going to add it. And what you will see now is that in resources, I used to have just Daryl Blair, but now I have plumber, downtime. I have so many other things. I have a second page now. I have parts that just the task list added to my resources. So this is really useful for something that, you know what, now that there is a corrective work, I'm going to take this chance and assign other technicians or other work to be performed on this asset now that I know that it needs some time of work. So I think everything looks good here now. And as a supervisor, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this work order. Again, this can be anything. It can be a failure in the AC or in heating or your chair or anything like that. As long as your maintenance supervisor gets a request with the necessary information, he will be able to make a decision and assign the work. I'm going to log out from Scott Daniels. And what I'm going to show you next is how our app works. So I am going to connect my phone so that I can show everyone how our app works. So this is my phone, everyone. I am going to go on my app and I am logged in as Daryl. I'm gonna synchronize my app. So the good thing about this app is that you can work with it in offline mode. Okay. What does that mean? It means that If you have a site without internet connection, you can definitely use the app, and later on you can synchronize your work. So here, when I go up here to my menu, I am going to say synchronize, and it will synchronize. So what it's doing right now, it's connecting to the internet and it's receiving all the new information that I have missed since I last logged in. So you will see that it's very quick. Obviously, it's gonna load all of the work orders, all of the work requests, all of the information that you allow your technician to see. So I am Daryl. I am going to see the list of work orders, and I see all of the work orders that have been assigned to me. These are all work orders. And I see a red one, which means critical. It says cutting machine is too slow. So I am going to open it. I can see the comments that they created. It says machine not working properly since 9 a.m. Okay, we'll assign to technician. I can see who assigned it to me. So what I'm gonna do, and I know there is a logo here, but there is a play button here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start. So the app will count how long I'm gonna take doing this work. So I can change the work type. For example, I can select this. I can change the field, can be anything. You choose all of these options. I will go up here on parts, and it says that I need to use 2 of these and 2 of these. And if there is something that it wasn't assigned to me, but I really used it, I can scan it. So I am going to add. So I am going to add a QR code. And as you can see on my app, it was added. So I can select which ones I really used. So I'm going to select the one that I scanned with my QR code. I can go on technicians and I see that's my name. I'm Blair, Daryl Blair. And I can add someone else. You know, I worked with someone else that wasn't assigned to it. It doesn't matter. I can add it here. Great. I can see the task list that was assigned to the work orders. So I am going to go ahead and open them, and I'm going to say if I did completed them or not. So it's really easy. I can just press OK. I can add a comment, confirm, and I can move on. I'm going to see the files, if they added any files, or I can take a picture and say, you know what, look, it's working now. It's working fine now. And now my picture is here, and then the manager will see that it is working fine. I can see I can download the files that are related to this asset. So in the asset, we had a manual. So that's the file that I'm gonna see here. And I can change meters if I want. So I have operating hours. If I want to, I can definitely update that. Or I really don't have time to do that. So I'm done. I'm just gonna enter my signature. I'm gonna go on reports, and I'm done. So I'm gonna press pause down here, and it automatically updates that the duration completed was 2 minutes. I can add any comments if I want. And I am going to select, I am going to select to synchronize the work order. That's it. That's all that you have to do, guys. This is super easy. A lot of companies love it for their technicians because they don't have to go on a computer. Some companies really like to give their technicians tablets, and this works perfectly on a tablet. So whenever the technician finds connection to the internet, he can synchronize it. So he doesn't have to synchronize it right away. He will just have to synchronize it whenever he wants. So I am going to go back to my screen and I'm going to log on as my supervisor again. So here we are again. I can see all of the work orders that I have in my profile, and I can see all the ones that I have created. So what I can do is I can open any one of these, for example, and what I can see here is that for resources, which items were completed. And this is going to help me, and it's going to be very useful when I do my reports. I can see all the costs, all the things that I use, for example, all the parts, the cost on those parts, the cost on the labor, the cost on the downtime, and pretty much everything that I'm going to need for my reports, I'm going to find them here. So I can also go ahead and I can simply open a work order and I can change the status. So I can say, I'm going to close this work order because it's done. And I'm going to save. Or I can definitely review all the information on the work order and say, you know what, I don't think he didn't use all the resources that I assigned. So I'm going to go ahead and assign it again. So I don't have to close the work order. I can reassign it again and continue with that work order open. So here I want to show you for non-assigned work, because when you schedule preventive work, you will schedule it ahead of time, sometimes a month in advance, sometimes you just you're going to create all the work for the whole year. So for example, I see here that there is a work order that hasn't been assigned. Why? Because I assigned all of these work orders a long time ago, and that means that I didn't know who was gonna work in a year from now. So what I can do here is I can assign it, and it's that easy. Or I can also assign it to myself. So it's that easy. This is for April 28th, so that means this is for next week because it's already scheduled. So whenever you go on work and you do preventive work, you can create any preventive work that you want. You can create a trigger. For example, you can go on here. This is our monthly inspections on our cutting machine. So it can be anything. It can be a monthly inspection on your AC. It could be a monthly or a quarterly check on anything. As long as you add your trigger, you can add any trigger that you want. It can be periodic calendar, or it can be a meter. So this machine needs a work after 300 hours running. So you can choose your trigger here. And because I did this, that's why I find that I have a work order for next week. I don't have to do anything else. I can just plan it, schedule it, say how often I want it to happen, and the system will create my work order for me. So I hope you enjoyed this demonstration. As you can see, it's very user-friendly. The app is really user-friendly and is really cool. You can do all of your work on the app if you want. And what I want to show you right now, I hope everyone had a good time seeing this. I want to show you our new module. It's a module that we created in Power BI. It's additional, but it's really useful for KPIs. This is our dashboard. And as you can see all of your entities. So for example, here we chose some cities in France. And if I click on anything really, it will change my data. So for example, here I have all of the data of the whole entity. And if I just click on one city, it will change and my filters will change. Here, this is my dashboard, but I can also go on my panel here on the left-hand side. I can see my downtime. I can see the evolution of the downtime. I can see the delay of operation by technician, downtime by asset. I can see the mean time to repair, and I can see the mean time between failures. So if you go here on the right, you can see that you can see all the filters that have been applied. You can change the filters up here. So for example, you can just select one asset, and then there you go, everything will change. So this is pretty great for your reports, so that you don't have to show, all those Excel spreadsheets to your VPs or your managers. You can have it all here in a very user-friendly way. This is your maintenance, your downtime, your labor, your part, your subcontractor. So basically, all of the information and all of the fields that we had in demo are here shown in a graph way. So if you go on purchase, you also have all the different information, such as delay, quantity, evolution, value. And just like I showed you on the dashboard, if you just click on one thing, it will show you just the data for that particular thing. So it's really easy to filter. You'll have your stock, you'll see the value of your stock, your rotation, your inventory difference, the stock evolution, your stock KPI. So it's really everything that you need for your reports, guys. This is our fault tree. This is really cool because we have different types of effects. So for example, if there is noise in our machines, I can see that the the cause of that noise could be any one of these, and I can see the remedies of those causes. So this is pretty interesting. This will make your life easier when talking about your faults or your downtime. And of course, you will have your reports and your spreadsheets. So that is our new module, analytics. We're very proud. It was released this year, so it's brand new, and that's why I wanted to show you. This is a great way to do your reports. Of course, you will have your reports on Demo as well. You can go on analysis, and you can say, for example, analysis of work. And you will have filters, of course. You can change the date. So for example, I am going to select from January, and I can say view report. So of course, Scott Daniels is our supervisor in New York, but if we had a lot more entities, we would be able to see the entities that he could see. So here you have you don't have that many filters, so you're gonna find 13 charts of information. It's gonna organize all of the information of your maintenance in different ways, 13 different ways. So for example, here you have it organized by asset, and it will show you the most expensive asset that you have in terms of maintenance. So of course, it's going to be our cutting machine because that's the one we did our work orders and work requests for. I see that we only have 10 minutes left. So what I want to do is I want to thank you, everyone. You can definitely contact me if you want to see more from our solution. And I want to hear from you and see if you have any questions about what I showed you today. Thank you so much for staying with me this whole time. And I hope you enjoyed it. And please let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to answer.
So we did have a few questions come in, and if anyone thinks of any questions during this period, just enter them on the chat box on the right side of your screen. So the first question I have is, if we purchase a few licenses for my company, what do they include exactly?
Oh, that's a perfect question. Thank you so much. So our licenses are named. So as you could see, the supervisor, the requester, the technician all had different licenses. They are named, so you will have as many licenses as you need. One of the good news is that our requester licenses are free. So you can have as many requesters as you want. So if your company has 1,000 employees or 10,000 employees, you can all have they can all have requester licenses, which is great. You will get also technical support, and you will also get the latest version. So this solution, our on-cloud solution, is being updated, and we're having new releases every 3 months. So every 3 months you can log in and you'll just see the new version. So you don't have to pay anything additional. That will be included when you get your licenses.
The next question I have here is it possible for a company that is using an on-premise system to switch to the cloud? How would it work?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have our consultants that will work with you. They will help you get all the information from your previous system. So if the system allows to download information, for example, in spreadsheets, they will help you to organize those spreadsheets and import the information to Dimo. And it honestly doesn't take too much time. It's super easy, and the good thing is that you won't need any installation on your computer. So once you switch to the cloud, anything, any computer can have it because you don't have to install it on a particular computer. So yeah.
The next question I have is, do you need a Power BI subscription to use the dashboards?
Yes, so it is an additional module. You do need it, but if you are interested, I can definitely show you how it would work once you do have our solution. And yeah, you do need it, but it will work completely. So the fees that we have would work for the whole thing.
Okay, I have another question here. We manage facilities. Would this tool work for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So anything can be organized on your asset tree. So if if in your tree you can organize anything logically, so you can have your facilities, and if you don't have any, if you don't want to add any assets, you can definitely just add the name of the facility, and they will be able to find it on the tree and do any work requests. So it depends on how your company really works. It depends on how you are structured, and then that's the way that the solution will be structured. So it doesn't have to be assets, it can be facilities as well.
Another question I have here is, does this product work with Microsoft products?
Yes, so we do have connectors for other ERPs other than Sage. If you do use, for example, Dynamics, there are connectors, there are interfaces that we can have for them. So yeah, that's the short answer is yes. We would have to see which version and which specific solution you're trying to connect it with, but we can obviously certainly connect it to your ERP, the ERP that you're using.
And the last question I have here is, how does the implementation process work? Do you train employees who will use the system?
Yes, absolutely. The implementation is quite easy and it's very fast. A consultant will be with you through the whole process. And depending on how large your project is, there will be phases. So if you have 15 sites, we'll probably do a couple of pilot sites first, and then train a specific group of key users, and then we can go forward with the rest of the phases. But the consultant is there to help you out with how you want to implement. I was also going to mention that in the implementation there are kickoff meetings, and you can also add weekly or monthly meetings so that you can see the progress of your project. So the consultant will be with you throughout the whole process, and it's going to be, you'll see that it's very easy. And because the system is very easy to use, so is the training of the employees.
So with that being all of the questions for today, I'd just like to
Great.
thank everyone for taking time out of their busy days to attend, as well as you, Juliana, for presenting today.
Thank
I
you.
hope that everyone found something beneficial within the presentation, and you will be sent out a recording and email after the presentation.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone.